Good morning, good evening, good day. Welcome back to another episode of That's Wild. This week I just feel really low energy and really tired. And let me tell you why. There's a whole story to it. But I also had a plan of what I was going to talk about this week, but I'm going off topic because my brain cannot focus on anything but what I'm thinking about. So I'm just going to talk about it and try and get it off my chest and off my mind. But anyway, the reason why I'm so tired, firstly, is because I went out to a barbecue on the weekend, and it was my cousin's graduation. Congratulations, Tiana. And basically, I'm not normally a drinker. I don't normally drink. If I do, I have one drink because I know my limit. I know what I can handle. But this time I decided to have a drink. And I think it's because I know what spirits make me feel bad and what spirits make me feel okay. Normally when I drink rum, I don't get a hangover because, well, I don't know why, but I just don't get a hangover if I drink rum. But anything else, I kind of feel it a bit more. Or like I can do certain beers, so I usually have a Corona or what they call Desperado. I have one of those, and that's like my one drink for the evening. And I usually always drive. I'm like the designated driver, and that way I don't drink. And then whatever I have planned the next day, because the other thing is that I don't really rest. I don't really have a day off. I'm always working on something. So I like to be able to either enjoy a day of rest, not feeling like shit, or get on with what I need to get done. So I don't normally drink, but anyway, I decided to have a drink. I had a bit of rum punch, because you can never go wrong with Jamaican rum punch. And that rum punch turned to 2, which turned to 3. And then I realised that I never had a Magnum in my life. The alcohol Magnum. It's like a Jamaican stout wine thing. I don't even know how to describe it, but I never had one of those. Then I had a Magnum with my cousin. And then after that, I vaguely remember vodka, more tequila, more rum, and probably more than what I can actually remember. So anyway, I had a bit of a hangover the next day, and it wasn't even terrible, to be honest. I feel like I'm pretty good with hangovers in the sense that I don't really feel terrible, I just feel a bit tired, and I had to ride that day as well. So I already got up and got ready and had coffee, and I feel like as long as I'm moving, I'm okay, I'm able to function. And it wasn't until I got to the yard and stopped for 5 minutes because I was early, and I sat in the car with my coffee, and then I was like, okay, I need to keep moving because I can start to feel it kicking in. But it was more just nauseousness than anything else, but I wasn't really tired yet. But my body works in mysterious ways because of how I feel on the ground and in myself, in my person. It's very different to when I'm riding. I can never predict how my body's gonna feel on the horse compared to off the horse. I can try and measure it, and I can try and keep my body in a certain way so that I ride better. But I never truly know how I'm gonna feel until I get on the horse. So on the ground, I actually felt great because I was really I was tired, which means that my muscles are more relaxed. Usually, because I'm tired, so there's less tension and less spasms. But on this day, my body decided to be tighter than normal. So when I got on, I was a bit tight and a bit tense, which I honestly didn't think I would be. I thought I'd be the opposite because that's what I'm used to. But then again, I have cerebral palsy, and every day is different. And I can't always predict how my body is going to react to certain things. And that's one thing that people might not understand. which also kind of gets on my nerves, but it's fine. But yeah, some days I truly just can't predict how I'm going to feel until I am on board and moving. And I can often usually judge within myself, like even if I am really, really tight, there's a certain tenseness that once I get moving, it will relax and go away. And there's a certain tension that, like, if you bring attention to it more, it's almost like it gets tighter. Like, I need something to be ignored so that I forget about it and then I relax as well. Because if I'm overthinking it too much as well, then it usually makes my body more tense and tired after that. So that's kind of why I've had a tired weekend. Because, and the other thing which I realised yesterday, which, do you know what actually doesn't get spoken about enough, is, like, being a woman, your body obviously goes through the menstrual cycle, and, like, I don't know the name of each phase, but the phase that you get the week before your period, or, like, the week of your period, when your emotions and your hormones change, and you become enraged by, like, the silliest things. I'm currently in that phase, and I usually always forget that it happens. It happens every month, but every month I forget until I start getting these thoughts about wanting to hurt people because they piss me off. And then I look at my app and I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because I'm not usually this angry, but in this week of life, I am. But it's fine. That's also why I'm tired, because I've not been sleeping. I've been working non-stop. I've been getting up really early to go to the gym, which I hate. But I'm going to get into that in a second. And I've been going to bed really late because I've been working so hard. I usually eat really late and then I end up working more because my brain doesn't stop. And I can't wind down. So I end up going to bed late because I've been trying to just work and get stuff done. And see, the thing is, I've always been what do you call that, a late owl? I've always been someone that feels most creative and most efficient at night. So when I feel that kicking in, I don't like stopping myself from being creative because once I have that idea in my head, and once I have like a thought or an idea, I really want to just run with it because that's where my brain works the best. So I try not to work beyond 10 p.m. because that is a bit late when you're getting up early, but that is when my brain just comes up with these ideas, or like, I remember that I got to send an email, or I remember that I got a reply to someone's message. My brain just works differently at night than it does in the morning. And in the morning, I just can't think straight. Like, even if I have a coffee or something, like, it's not something caffeine related or like to do with the morning, like to do with the early hours. My brain just isn't as creative in the morning. I don't know why, but I've always been a night owl, and now I'm trying to become a morning person because the way that my work schedule works is it's easier for me to go to the gym in the morning now than midday or in the evening, which I don't like because I like going to the gym like midday, mid-afternoon, or like maybe in the evening, but like I prefer it later on in the day because that's when I feel like I put in the most energy. But like first thing in the morning, like, but I refuse to get up at 6 o'clock. I aim for 7 and hope for the best. But even if I end up going to the gym or trying to work that early in the morning, I end up just doing something that I shouldn't be doing because my brain can't be focused on one thing. And my brain usually, I don't know, I just can't work in the morning. I don't know what it is, but I love working at night. But the other thing that's got me riled up this week is the way that I don't even know how to describe it, but I guess the way that some people don't necessarily understand the para sport and the industry, because I think people still perceive horse riding as such a elitist posh sport, which don't get me wrong, it is, but it's also a sport that requires so much passion and so much dedication, because you don't really get much reward out of it, like financially or acknowledgements or anything like that. The only reward that you'll get is the reward that you give yourself from what you're able to produce and perform. So it's not a sport that has any give. You don't get anything from it other than what you get from it from your own satisfactory needs. But also, I feel like this whole mindset came from, basically, I have a show in October that we're aiming for, and it's not long, it's 8 weeks away, probably less than 8 weeks, and my horse has been off for a few weeks because she had an injury to her leg. She's now a lot better, and we're introducing work back in slowly. I think over the time that she was off, I really struggled to keep in the routine of staying fit and on top of my game. I know that's my number one struggle, is that when I'm out of the sport, I struggle to still maintain as though I am in the sport. Obviously, the horse riding is the one thing that I want to do, that I aim to do, that I love. That's the whole sport. When that's taken out of my life for a bit, I don't have as much dedication or drive to maintain the other side of the sport, which is keeping yourself fit and healthy and in the right condition to be able to ride. And that's different for everyone, but I think as a power rider, it takes a lot of strength and mind and body coordination and just overall training of your body to be able to ride. And I don't know, I find it really hard to keep my body maintained when I'm not riding, because riding is my sole focus, and I create my whole routine around when I'm riding, because I don't like to train and ride on the same day, because that will overdo my body. I won't be able to function the next day. So I try to arrange my whole life around when I'm riding. So yeah, when that's not in the diary, I'm not as focused. But anyway, we were talking about the show and how it is in a few weeks, and how I am a bit unfit, and I need to just make sure that I'm as prepared as Coco is when we need to go to this show, which I totally agree on. It's also my job as an athlete to be an athlete and to be prepared. But I do think this is one of the first times where my passion and my hobby has turned into me being an athlete, and me being more than just it's more than just doing it for fun now. It's riding as an athlete, which is very different from what I'm used to, because I grew up in horse riding. Well, this is really my first year competing at the highest level for multiple shows, and it is a different level of training and maintenance than what I'm used to. And I think the one thing that I found is that everything gets more serious, and everything gets more regimented, and everything gets more pressured, but not pressured, but there's a standard to be expected to achieve and to maintain, and it's no longer a hobby. It's a sport. I mean, it always was a sport, but in my head, I never saw myself as an athlete. I never saw myself as someone that had to be athletic. But now I have to be athletic, and I don't necessarily like the change. I think the whole pressure around having to be to a deadline to have my body in a certain way is what I don't love. But I also don't love the so someone said, okay, we have 8 weeks and we have to get you better by then. We have to get you back to where you were. and they were suggesting like things that I should be doing. I should be going to the gym more, I should be swimming, I should be doing more cardiovascular work, I should be doing more endurance, I should be doing more stretching. And this is where my mind kind of blew up, because the moment someone tells me what I should be doing, my brain immediately wants to do the opposite. Like, I don't know what it is, but the way that I've grown and, like, evolved as an adult, and probably it has something to do with being a disabled person as well, but, like, when you're disabled, your whole life you're told what to do and, like, how to maintain your body, how to stretch, how to improve your dexterity, how to do this, how to do that, what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. And there's not necessarily a choice in the matter, but the moment someone takes away my choice and tells me what I should be doing, my brain will immediately be thinking, fuck off. Like, fuck you, fuck off. And I had that moment where my brain was like, immediately, don't want to train, don't want to be doing this, don't want to do anything. And then I had to really sit with myself, and I had to be like, okay, let's not react. Let's just take a moment and, like, breathe and just chill out a second. And then I had to, like, reprogram my thoughts and think, this is what you want to do. This is, horse riding is my dream. It is my ambition. I do have goals, and October is one of those goals. In order to get to October, I have to be fitter. That is a fact. And she is right in that sense, that I do have to be fitter. But I have to do it in a way where I'm going to enjoy that process. Otherwise, I'm not going to want to do it. I'm not going to want to maintain my fitness, because that is the one thing that I don't enjoy about the whole sport, is the fitness and physio and stretching side of it. So the way my brain works, I either have to give myself a deadline to work towards, or I have to go the opposite direction and think, they're telling you that this is something that you can't do, and you have to prove them wrong. Because I can do that every day. I can do that happily. If you tell me that I can't do something, I will find a way in my whole being to do it, just to prove someone wrong, because that's just who I am. Same with, if I have a deadline, I can work towards a deadline, because I know that there's a finish line at the end. Even if I know, like, so, for example, I set the deadline as the October show. I have to be fit by the October show. But I also know that level of fitness has to then be maintained beyond that show. But I know that once I complete it, once I get to that show, it'll be way easier to maintain fitness that I've already got than what it feels like now being less fit. So in my mind, there's still a deadline that I can get to and work towards. But yeah, I do love proving someone wrong, and I had to just sit and rewire my brain, because I was like, this cannot be a fuck you moment. This has to be a fuck you moment, but in the perspective of, I'm going to show you what I can actually do, rather than you're not going to tell me what to do. And since then, I've been going to the gym daily. I've been stretching daily. I've been trying to just do as much as I can without overworking myself, because I feel like it can also go the opposite way, where I can be so focused and so locked in that I can go too far and end up causing more damage than good. So I'm trying to have a routine and a schedule, and one that works for me, one that I enjoy, one that I know that works for I stick to it. So I'm just trying to do as much as I can to get myself fit for October, and I know that I will. I think I do need to just be more careful of what I do and what I don't do. But I also don't want to restrict my life beyond horses, because of how it might affect me in the long run. Like, some people will say, oh, your body was tighter because you went out drinking and you were tired. When in reality, I knew that it didn't really have anything to do with the drinking. It had more factors. It had more to do with the fact that my Botox is running out, so my body's getting tighter. I'm a week before my periods, so my hormones are changing, which also makes my muscle tighter. And I've been going to the gym, training more in strength than relaxation, which makes my muscles more tight. And also, usually after I do a lot of work, either at work or within my body will get tighter and stiffer before it gets looser. So I know that there's many factors to why my body might feel a certain way. But I also know that I can't always predict how my body's gonna feel each day. So in my brain, I have to be able to ride and execute things in whatever condition my body might be in. And to me, every day is training because I never know how my body's gonna feel after a 4-hour drive to a competition and then I gotta get on and ride. Or if I'm ill and I'm throwing up in the toilet but I still gotta ride, I gotta know and trust that my body can do that. And the way that I think about it, like, I've come straight off a flight and gone straight to a competition and ridden and got done really, really well. My last championship that I did, I was so ill, I was lit in a dark room in my competition gear, like everything on until I had to get on for warm-up. My mum called me and wheeled me out in my wheelchair. I got on and I rode, and that was one of the best tests that I rode that year. Like, I know that my body might not always be perfect, but I know that I can always execute my job in the way that I have to. And I think that's one thing that people don't always understand. But it's fine. It's fine. Anyway, I think I've had my rant. I also, this week, what else am I doing? I'm going to see Blackpink on Saturday, which is fun. I went to see them 2 years ago, and that was one of the best shows. I saw them at Hyde Park, and I also saw Sabrina Carpenter as well on the same day. Before she was like big, she was there opening that, which is crazy. But I had the best time, and I'm going again on Saturday with my cousin who introduced me to Blackpink, and then both of our mums are going with us because we went to the last show together, and we just thought it was a cute little family outing for everyone. So we're going to do that, and I'm very excited because I feel like because I don't go out often and I don't go clubbing, I don't drink, I don't do a lot of fun stuff. So concerts are my fun stuff. I love music, I love shows, so that's what I do. I go to concerts and I enjoy music because that is what brings me the most joy in life, is just live music. I love it. So I'm really excited to see Blackpink again. I really hope for their encore they do either one of Jennie's songs or one of Lisa's songs. I feel like we need something high energy, high vibes. So I will update you next week how that goes. I also start, when do I start? I think I start next week. I don't know. But I signed up to counselling again. I see my counsellor once a year for like 6 weeks. And she just helps me get my mind in gear and to get all my thoughts out and to process everything. I've literally not seen her in probably a year and a half. And the last time I saw her, the first hour, I literally just bawled my eyes out for an hour. Because I also don't cry, but somehow when I see her, all my emotions come out. So I wonder how it will go this time. I will update you how my first session goes. But I'm excited for the rest of the week ahead. Hopefully my mood improves. And I don't even know. I'm just so tired. I need to go to bed early because I need to sleep. sleep makes everything better. And I really want to book a holiday because actual sun, that isn't England boiling sweating sun, also helps me put me back to my happiness in my core. So I might do that as well and try and get a cheap holiday somewhere. I just want to feel the sun on my skin. I want my tan back. I want my dark complexion because I love it when I get darker. And what else? I don't think I have anything else for this week. Sorry, I feel like I've just been on a rant, but it's been like, I think it is because I'm in my PMS stage, but everything this week has just pissed me off. So I felt like I needed to rant for a little bit and just get it off my chest. And then next week I'll be back to my happy, positive, go lucky self. Also, I really wanted to do an episode, but I asked either you to send me questions or I could do an agony aunt thing where you send me your dilemmas and I react to them. Or I don't know, I just want to do some engagement with my community and see what you guys have to say or ask me. So if you are interested in something like that, please leave a comment below or DM me any dilemmas or questions and I'll put that together and do an episode on that eventually. But yeah, thank you all for listening. Sorry, it's been a bit of a rant, but I hope you enjoyed or relate. And I'll see you next week. I'm so tired, man. I'm so tired. And I gotta be up at 6 in the morning, which isn't that early, but for Tegan it's really early. Okay, goodbye.